Hey guys, jumping in here for a quick second before the actual Sold Early podcast. Speedy Card Lister is actually partnered with Matthews Cardboard to assist in a Discord server that is launching. We are giving away 500 free scans per member who joins that server. So if you're part of this community that offers also, Beckett submissions, PSA, buying, selling, sports trading cards, memorabilia, as well as other community aspects as well. One benefit of that is a free Speedy Card Lister subscription, 500 scans. Total value there is at $55, and it's gonna be $649. I'll have the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Thank you for supporting Speedy as well. This is something I'm incredibly passionate about, and this is just another step forward in something I've been able to build. So from one project to another, let's turn it over to me and Kai for today's Sold Too Early episode. Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast. If New York City is the concrete jungle, then Fanatics Fest was the hippo exhibit. That's Kai. I'm the zookeeper. Welcome back to the podcast. 2 weeks in a row using an animal reference. Kai, how the hell are you doing?
Doing good. Little FOMO'd that I didn't go to Fanatics, but, sure you'll talk about it.
It's going to be the main crux of today's episode. So let me break it down in a couple different ways. We'll talk about the show itself. We'll talk about the future, in my opinion, of Fanatics Fest. And then like the marketing side of it, advertising side of it, whatever else. Because I posted a couple things about this over the last few days. So the show itself was incredible. I was actually only set up for 2 days. I had to leave on Saturday night. I couldn't go Sunday. I had family things I had to do. I'm in New Jersey. That's perfectly fine. I commuted in. They fixed a lot of the issues they experienced the first time around. And they added new things to it. So the Javits Center, for everyone who has never been there, is this huge convention center exhibit type thing where they can host major events. It is by far the nicest location you can have a card show that I've personally experienced. That's not to shit on, the Donald Lee Stevens Convention Center. It's not to shit on, your Holiday Inn or the Dallas Card Show or anything like that. It's not fair to compare them. It's like saying this is a Major League Baseball stadium and you're playing in like your local YMCA league. Like that's not fair to compare and contrast. And obviously I'm using a huge exaggeration there. But the facility itself is incredible. And to have a show there is amazing. Now, obviously, we're sponsored by Fanatics. Obviously, we're getting paid so much money to talk positively about it. Kai just bought a Bentley from that, of course. I got my second in the yard, obviously. No, we're not sponsored, not affiliated, anything like that. If anything, I've talked shit about everyone. No one wants to sponsor us. But what I will say is they fix a lot of those issues. And to call it a card show is disingenuous in a way because it is a card show, but it's so much more than that. And I think a lot of people who didn't go the first time got to see that for real this time because it was panels, exhibits, fan interactions, a lot of the stuff that was staged, of course, but also stuff that like was good marketing material in general. And it allowed people to connect with athletes and entertainers. It wasn't just like LeBron James being there. You had Kevin Hart, you had a lot of the streamer guys, Aiden Ross, I Show Speed, just name a few. Not Jay-Z was there. Actually, I think he was there. Travis Scott, obviously, that's musicians and talent. I'm forgetting the actress who went up to lead. I think it was Emma Roberts. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
It was either Emma Roberts or Emma Stone.
I always get them confused too.
Okay, that makes me feel better. But like, the point is, like, it's not just sports talent; it's actual entertainers and talent and influencers with millions and millions and millions of followers interacting with people in a great way. And it's so much more than just a card show. It's all these experiences and things, everything else. Dude, the show started on Friday at 10 a.m. with ESPN's First Take being filmed live at the Javits Center. It's fucking sick. You had like John Boy Media walking around. I saw them walking, just hanging out, and like no one was bothering them. They were just like there. It's just like I'm a fan of them. I would have said hi. I was just busy. but like it's just like a cool environment that they're able to build. And frankly, I hope Fanatics keeps this once a year, because we saw what happened last year when they tried to expand it to, Orlando and LA and such.
Yeah, that kind of blew up pretty bad.
Dude, listen, I'm sure they were thrilled that that hurricane happened, because they could cancel the Orlando show, and then obviously LA never exactly went through.
I mean, it would have been interesting to see like how much worse it would have been than the big one, but obviously we didn't get to see that.
No, and I think they learned their lesson. And supposedly they lost $15 million last year on the show, which sounds like a lot of money. But Fanatics is valued between 25 and $30 billion. So I did the math thanks to ChatGPT. If you had $100, Kai, the equivalent of that for you in losses would be 6 cents. It's around here. Does not matter. And obviously valuation versus, cash flow and capital, everything else is way different. But the amount of actual talent that was there in that room, with the impressions they got online from marketing, is in the billions. And that's not even an exaggeration. You had ESPN, you had LeBron James, you had Kevin Hart, you had all this actual talent posting about being at the show, tagging things. Oh, you think it's a coincidence that Kevin Durant got traded on stage at Fanatics? No, he fucking didn't. They knew that was happening, and they planned it accordingly, whether it was, a day before, that morning of, whatever else. He coincidentally found out he was traded on stage live at Fanatics Fest. No. Anyone with any level of critical thinking knew that trade was going to happen at some point in time. And, just an added benefit. We're going to have you on stage. We're going to announce this, just so you know. Dude, they filmed something with Kevin Hart. It took 3 hours for them to prep it, and he was there for 2 minutes. Like, that was in front of my booth. Like, these things are planned, quote unquote, and that's fine, because it's all for the clips. You get millions of views, and you get people being like, wait, what is Fanatics? What is this fest thing? What is a sports trading card? How do I type? Oh, it's fake news. You get the dumbest motherfuckers who believe anything they see, but guess what they see as well? Fanatics. It's worth its weight in gold. It does not matter how much money you lose. That's marketing.
I think Kevin Durant definitely knew he was getting traded already, but I honestly kind of think the timing was kind of just lucky that they had him on stage. I don't think they would break the news live on every platform at the exact time he was going up there.
They knew it was happening hours beforehand. There's a difference. So there's way more instances of that happening, Kai, where they know even the night before than, it just so happened you were live at an event. Now, for every Derrick Rose he gets traded from Chicago when he's filming a
like a documentary or whatever,
a documentary or an experience with them, you have dude, there's been multiple stories of people playing Call of Duty or World of Warcraft or something with NFL players, and their wives in the background talking about how they got traded to another team, and then the next morning it gets reported on. There's multiple instances of that versus it just so coincidentally happened Kevin Durant was on stage live at this event thing. They knew a couple hours before, and even up to, I would say, 12 hours, it was going to happen. It's let's just wait for Shams to hey, can you wait a little bit on this, man? We're promoting something. That is way more plausible than it just so happened that 30 minutes that Kevin Durant's on stage at this multi-million-dollar event. You find out publicly he gets traded. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I mean, all everything that ended up being filmed and obviously kind of went semi-viral for it being card content was perfect.
It was staged. I can
tell.
No,
I know it was perfectly done, is what I mean.
Of course it was, because it's not. It's not that hard to do. And I can say that it's staged because I saw it. It's not even about any connections or any information. You can fucking just watch it happen with any kind of intelligence. They ran through the script for Kevin Hart's thing 4 or 5 times. Not with Kevin Hart, because you have to just work with the talent. They had random people they got in all right, hey Tony, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna ask for Aaron Judge because Aaron Judge is tall. Kevin Hart isn't. That's the joke. Do that 4 times. So they got a kid and his dad. They got a guy wearing a Mets jersey. and like two other people, like an 8-year-old kid, and like his mom and someone else. It's like, all right, here's the joke, guys. You're gonna go ask for Aaron Judge. You're gonna go ask for who's another like exceptionally tall player who's like. You're gonna go ask for Paolo Banchero. You're gonna go ask for
Wemby was there.
You're gonna ask for Wemby and whatever else. Oh, also complete footnote in this. I don't know why he was there, but Spud Webb also just makes an appearance in this commercial for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe Kevin Hart's a fan, but like he was chilling for like an hour on his phone, just like waiting for Kevin Hart to show up. So
how was like the card part relative to like what you would have had to pay to set up there? Like, was it worth it this time?
So nitty-gritty details. The show for a booth was about $32.50. That covered 3 tables, 6-foot tables, and 3 Zion cases. And like not the nice Zion cases, like the ones without a lock on them, they look kind of shitty. If you saw any of the videos, it's like the one with like the glass on it. And well, not glass, but plexiglass.
Those like black ones, right?
Yeah, I don't like those. Like
I don't really like them either.
They're just not that nice. They don't have a lock on them. They're kind of cheap. And to rent more was like $75 each. So your total cost, if you had an entire booth for yourself, which is crazy, before flight, hotel, and food, is $3,500. Assuming you're flying in, assuming you're staying in a decent hotel, if you have that kind of money, you're gonna spend it. Obviously, you're talking about $55,000 to $6,000, probably realistically, for your trip for 3 days. Now, you can make that money in that room, obviously, but like I'm not going to pay that. I'm going to split it with some friends, make some deals happen. And it was already a profitable show 2 days later because I've sold off a good amount of the stuff. The inventory that I still have is good. And money was very readily available, even just the 2 days I was there. Friday was one of the better show days I've had this calendar year in general, maybe the best outside of the National. And Saturday was still very good, but people who came on Friday obviously were not working. They were, this was their job. They were hashtag grinding, and Friday was incredible. One of the best show days I've had in recent memory. And Saturday was very good. I can't speak for Sunday, but I'm sure that whoever was there and set up did well.
Yeah. There's no Thursday or anything, is it? It's just Friday.
So that's the conversation I think that they're going to be having now. Assuming the show still lost money, which once again, if you lost money on ticket sales and expenses and everything else, you have to understand that actually doesn't matter for a company like Fanatics. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. You're building something to try and take over How much do you think the sports industry is worth in general in the U.S. per year?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know if it's like quantifiable to like put a number on it. I mean, it's got to be trillions.
$55.71
that's right.
billion. 68.21 in 2029.
I mean, that can't be right. Yeah, like one league alone is worth more than that.
Well, either way, that is the North America sports market value for what we have here. Let's take that as a conversation. If you can lose millions, but possibly get to billions at some point in time, you take that every single time because you're actually reaching billions of people, at least in impressions. Maybe it's the same person being served the same thing 2 or 3 times, but when you have LeBron James with 150 million followers, Kevin Hart with 170 million, Speedy with 30 million, Tom Brady with whatever he has on just Instagram alone, and you have all this content being produced, it doesn't matter. That weight alone and how much you're paying for advertising, and then the free publicity too from other things and other networks talking about, oh, Kevin Durant did this, LeBron James did that, Fanatics did this $1 million thing. I'm shocked they didn't get fucking Mr. Beast there, make him do a video there, because that would have attracted another 200 million views to your event. Maybe they tried to, maybe they couldn't make it work, but like that's another easy dub. It doesn't matter.
As someone who has still yet to go to one, is from your perspective set up, does it still make sense, you think, for them to keep trying to integrate the cards with the like event part, or do you think they should maybe kind of sort of separate it in a way?
It should not be separated. Not because like I think they're going to expand the card section more because they are trying to, in my opinion, become the new National. Now, I've had conversations with the National. I'm friends with the president. We were talking. I met up with him on Saturday for like 20 minutes, and we were texting earlier today. I really like Al. Al's a great guy. I think that there's a lot of learnings from both this show, because he was a vendor, and from the National coming up in a couple of weeks that they can use to really kind of integrate moving forward. I think that Fanatics has the money to do whatever they want, and the National has to focus on like a younger and more, enterprising demographic, while also understanding that like this is still a hobby for a bunch of people. So I think these can both coexist, but at some point, if Fanatics sees millions of dollars on the table, or tens of millions, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just didn't know from a dealer perspective if like people who were simply had no clue what cards were actually were just there for like to see people or whatever.
I had no.
Are they actually like coming over to like buy cards or no?
I had no conversations like that this year. Last year I did. Maybe it was because my spot. So last year EJ hooked it up incredibly. I had a phenomenal spot. This year I was more towards the back, and I thought like, oh, this is gonna suck. This is a bad spot. It actually wasn't. Friday was always slammed. Walk-ups were pretty good. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know how or why my location ended up being pretty good. Maybe it was because I was close to like one of the stages and they had talent walking behind us. They had like actual talent, not fucking JVC 123 cards with 10,000 followers. I'm talking fucking LeBron James and
Mikey walks out on stage.
Oh my god, I love Mikey, but like we are not talent. We are the farthest thing from celebrities, and it's so funny that people. I don't know about you, Kai. Do you watch any sports card content?
Not really. I watch Ryan sometimes. His are pretty decent.
Like, other than like my friends, I engage in nothing. I hate it. It's like, oh, you're not showing me anything that I don't know. Like, I don't care. Here's the 10 players to buy going to the National. Well, guess what? You probably fucking own 7 of them already.
I get to watch this dude rip off children for 45 minutes straight in the video.
You can watch me do that for free, Kai. Yeah, you don't have to watch YouTube. Come on. Like, it doesn't excite me or interest me, which is so funny.
You know what I think we need to do this year? I think we need to try running back the podcast at the National again.
We should. I think the main issue we had last year was computers, frankly. So I think we should absolutely run back the podcast.
I think we should attempt. I don't know how we would format it, but I think we should attempt to do like 15 minutes with like different groups and like put them all together somehow.
Get a fucking casting couch going of people.
Literally.
So where you're staying in the Hyatt, right?
I'm at the one that has like the bridge connected to it.
Which one? Because there's a couple.
I don't know. I think only one of them has a connection, I'm pretty sure.
No, there's a couple that are connected.
Well, it's the one. I'll just look at my email. Give me a second.
Well, I'm also going to pull up the map too. Because I currently have 2 reservations in case I get like fucking
Dave's hoarding hotel rooms.
I have two reservations in case I get diddled. Like, just you never know. So you have the Rosemont O'Hare.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm at you were right. I'm at the Hyatt Regency.
Okay, yeah, the Hyatt Regency is the nicest one by far.
Wait.
No,
wait. That's a lie. This was my Fanatics Fest hotel. Hold on.
Wait, what?
This is my Orlando Fanatics Fest.
Oh, that's even funnier. The Hyatt Regency's over here.
Oh, where the hell is this stupid thing at? It was starred. Keep talking, I'll find it.
Okay. So, for anyone who's not been to the National, at least in Chicago, there are bridges across the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center to, I believe, 3 or 4 hotels, because obviously this is a place that hosts events like year round. And breaking news, it's fucking cold in Chicago when you get past like October. So I have been to, the Chicago Spectacular, probably the most. That's the show I've been to the longest, like 8 or 9 years now at this point. And you have to stay in one of the hotels connected by the walking bridge, or you'll die. So there is the Hyatt Regency, which is the nicest hotel in my opinion. I believe the Hilton Rosemont is connected as well.
I found it. It is the Hyatt Regency.
Okay, so I was right.
9300 Bryn Mawr Avenue.
Yeah, you should dox them.
Sorry.
It's
Don't
okay.
blow me up, please.
It's okay.
Where's that? That's that one, right? To the top,
Yes.
right?
So this one has the longest walking bridge, but like it's accessible. I believe this hotel.
I've never stayed there. I remember one year Liam and them stayed there. And it was pretty nice, I think.
Oh, it's great. It's
hopefully the price reflects, the price.
Dude, I've had my room comp there. It was amazing and upgraded once. Like they do some nice shit there. I forget where my second reservation is. I think it's the double.
Which one was your first one? I kind of zoned out while I was looking for that.
Original one was by the casino.
You got like one from some sketchy dude though, right?
That's why I'm trying not to make sure I get diddled. Because
yeah, but where's the closer one at?
So the farther one is by the casino, which I think is over here.
That could work out.
The closer one is, I believe, I'm in Doubletree.
Wait, since when is there a casino like right there?
There's a casino like literally right here.
I thought we Ubered like 30 minutes last time to go.
Are you thinking of?
Oh,
Cleveland?
yeah, I'm thinking of that dog shit place.
Oh, let's. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're at this right where the pink bed is.
That's where my original one was. It's one of these, but now I'm not. So
now you're close.
Yeah, I'm walking distance, which is really
very nice.
Dude, that is such a huge win. Like I was gonna be okay with Ubering because like the cost was like $125 a night when I booked it, but like it's so worth it to be able to walk and leave the show if I want to, especially as a vendor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled with how much mine is.
Well, do you at least have? Well, yeah, at least you're not splitting with like another sweaty man, so it's okay. But
I mean, when I booked it, I just found the confirmation email. I booked it freaking August 7th, and that was like one of the last rooms left at that hotel.
$40 a night.
Yeah, it's like high 300s, I think.
Yep. It is fucking miserable, and I will say this: I will be booking my national hotel like.
You almost should book it now, right?
Like honestly, I sometimes you can get away with that. So,
well, you booked yours like the week of, right, last year.
I booked it. I booked Cleveland's hotel when I was sitting in Chicago, sweating my balls off because it was so hot. The 2020.
You just need the date, right?
Yeah. Can I find it?
It should be
this is
somewhere. Might be on like the homepage, honestly.
Let's just quickly see. 2026, July 3rd, July 30th, August 3rd. Okay. I don't know
what. Like how Beckett had that on their website 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, like they announced the dates in advance. Like we know when 2027 and 2028 is going to be as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, we don't know when 2026 will be, but like you can kind of figure.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that date for this year? Oh, it's kind of weird.
Okay, maybe we don't know when the national will be.
Maybe we should wait like a couple of weeks to book it.
Well, I mean, you have a general idea, but
I guess you could hypothetically book both weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
because it's going to be one of those 2 weeks, I would assume, like it always is.
Yeah, it's generally the end of July into the first week of August. So yeah. Listen, man. Like I am somewhat prepared. I was not expecting Fanatics Fest to be the way it was, in like the best way possible. Like I am now sitting pretty cash heavy, and I just spent $12,500 on a vintage lot, which is going to turn into more money, and I have okay inventory right now. Like I'm in as good of a spot I would want to be in with about 2 months to go, but like not even 2 months actually. I'm sorry. National is 35 days away. Yeah. So 5 weeks. I'm feeling pretty good, but like I also know that like if I take my foot off the gas now, or if I try to not sell cards, that's stupid. So either way, you gotta just keep going and hoping that when the Nationals here, you have good stuff.
Yeah, it's always weird, like trying to not sell stuff, but also selling stuff to make money at like these couple weeks leading up to it.
I know. Oh, Lane also gave me some shit. He said I would never sell my Peaky Blinders auto, and then I did. So fuck you, Lane. I forgot to tell you that. He bought some more stuff off me. I think he spent like $4,000 me this weekend. So
Was he there? Or is that online?
Lane was there. He was swamped, obviously. I saw Mikey for a couple minutes. I saw Nick, New England Sports Cards, for 2 minutes as well. He and his wife were there. They like took a cruise from New Jersey, then went to Fanatics for like I guess a day, and then went back home, which is nice. I don't know if that was planned or not, but that's always nice to see him. I only see Nick like once or twice a year. It makes me sad. I wish he did more card stuff. He doesn't really have to.
I don't even know if Nick does the National anymore. I can't remember if I like see him there.
I know that we got dinner with him 1 year, but I don't know if if he's there, we'll see him and that'll be nice. But who else did I saw Lucas for the first time in a while, actually, because I think the last time I saw him was the Dallas show you were at. I don't know why I didn't see him the last. Because
Well, you didn't go to the last Dallas, did you?
Yeah, and I'm not going to the July 4th one, so it's kind of been, dude. It's really been an interesting couple of months. I'm also now attending Burbank. I was not planning on it. I will now have a table through Lucas, which is exciting. Casey wants to go to LA, so I'm going to Burbank. We're gonna make a little vacation out of that. So that's gonna be a fucking gauntlet, dude. Because then you're gonna have
the next Dallas.
You're gonna have Burbank is August 21st. So you have National 2 weeks, Burbank week and a half, Dallas, then a New Jersey show in my backyard. It's gonna be a busy time. And then after that, we're getting a dog. So I'm about to have a busy couple of months.
Are you specifically getting it after those shows, or you just have talked about maybe getting a dog?
So we're getting a golden retriever. We've been trying to get one for the past year and a half. The breeder lost a litter. She then only had 2 puppies when we were like number 4 on the list. Now we're number 3 on the list, and they have at least 6. So hopefully everything works out well there. If it does, they should be born about a month from today, and then a take-home date of like September 17th. So the first Tuesday I have that dog, you can fucking guarantee I'm gonna be holding his ass up like Simba. and
trying to piss on your computer.
Listen, you know what? I fully deserve it if that happens now. So this is me warning myself 4 months in advance, whatever. Hey, just be ready. You never know, man.
But yeah, it's gonna be I was just saying it's gonna be a grind. I mean, my goal was to do Burbank and then the Dallas. I haven't booked either of them, but I would like to do both of them. I guess it kind of just depends, like my situation after the National, because I'm also in that time span in the next 5 weeks or so. I'm moving. I'm doing the National. Moving entails a lot of things, as you know, so I'm gonna have a lot going on. So I don't know. It just depends, when I'm, where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I would like to do both of those, though. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't know if you can get another table through Lucas, or if you want to split the one I have, because I have 4 showcases and I definitely don't need 4. So if you end up doing Burbank, tell me, and we'll split it. You, Casey, and I can hang out. That won't be the worst thing in the world.
We'll bully you the whole time.
Oh, dude, Casey gets it. Like, I've dragged her to so many cars just at this point that, like, she just gets kind of the dynamic. She doesn't understand how men talk to one another. Like, she doesn't. I don't know if that's a girl thing. Maybe I don't know if your girlfriend gets it too. I'm not sure how much you like rib on your friends or not, but like we bully the shit out of one another. Just obviously I bully Casey a ton. Obviously, that's what are you talking about? But like with my friends, like we just say the meanest shit to one another because like that's the point. Like if you're not being mean to one another, you don't care.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why are you being mean?" It's like that's the entire dynamic. How do you not?
Why aren't you being mean?
Yeah, you want to be nice. Fuck that. That's the loser.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
She's
if I
gotta
go, definitely. I guess we'll see what you're up to. Probably split table, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. And then September Dallas, if you want to come to, same thing. Like,
I'm like gonna go to that. Most likely, the Burbank's kind of what's up in the air. But
do you want the one?
Dallas if I can go.
Do you want the one showcase then in September, or are you gonna try and find a better spot?
I mean, likely would just ask for the showcase if you have it. I guess.
Yeah, I won't sell it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. All right, I'll keep that open then, because obviously I sold my table for July 4th. Listen, more proud of you guys for you doing a card show. Oh my God, it's next week. Fuck. Yeah, I might not be doing this podcast next week. I'm gonna be on vacation. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll just call in, but
we have a caller from where are you gonna be?
It's me. I'll figure that out. If I can
where are you going?
North Carolina.
We have a caller from North Carolina.
Yeah.
His name's Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Bryce Young, my favorite quarterback of all time.
Pump Bryce Young cards.
God, I hate Bryce Young.
I love Bryce Young.
I know, and I don't think he's good.
I don't either.
It's so funny. Like, my opinion, I've said this a few times. My opinions on sports have been so diluted by our industry, and it's very clear when people don't know what the fuck they're talking about because of sports cards, and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the funniest examples right now is like JJ McCarthy. Dude, he sells for like almost the second or third most out of all the second-year quarterbacks. He's coming off an ACL tear. He's never played. He kind of sucked in college. Like,
I mean, I don't think you can say he sucked. You can say he was a victim of circumstance where his team was so, generally talented across the board. I could have been quarterback and probably won a game or two. Like, I'm not saying win the national championship. I'm saying I can win a game or two. Just hand it off and pray.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Blake Corum had like 30 rushing touchdowns, I think.
So it doesn't necessarily matter per se. I think JJ will be pretty good. When shocked,
draft him, I shouldn't be talking to you about it.
Well, I drafted him in our Dynasty League on purpose because, he's also, I think, my QB4. So I can quickly check. It's Sleeper. Is that? Yeah, that's the app. Because I have Dart, Mahomes. What's my team? I have Mahomes, JJ. Okay, JJ is my super flex right now. But realistically, I'll probably end up starting Rodgers, who's my QB3, and then Dart is QB4. Yeah, I will probably end up playing Rodgers at least the first half of 2025
until he says a slur on live TV after.
That'll make him QB1, baby. What are you talking about? But yeah, he's JJ. I think has a very high floor, which I mean in general that was what he played like in college anyway.
Yeah, I mean I just think it's one of those things where it's like you have like 5 dudes who have all played and like played pretty decent. And then you have the one guy coming off an injury that hasn't played, and he's like outselling almost all of them.
Well, hype outsells production. Like obviously,
I'm saying based on what you were saying, like people you can tell based on like people that just do cards versus like watch sports.
Yeah, dude. Jane Daniels was incredible both card wise and obviously in real life. Roth sold the finite for $500K, which is wild.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was staged. I wasn't there at that point, so I'm sure there were conversations in the background before that happened. I mean, good for him, obviously, but like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy is not even the right word. That's just like, it's fucking asinine. If you said that to someone 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe not because COVID.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, like, I don't think that's like an outrageous price for that card as is right now.
It depends.
I think it's more than it probably would go for, but I don't think it's like asinine.
I don't know. I mean, because like once again, it comes down to who at that price point buys that card, and then of the people who buy that, how many of them, or how many people with that money available, how many of them are sports fans? And obviously, there's a good amount who are, but that card has ended up in hopefully, the Commander's Museum or like the owner's collection, whatever else, because when you have, how many billions of dollars does that guy have?
A lot. I think I looked it up the other day. I think he owns like 3 franchises. I think 76ers.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Okay, 11.8 billion. So it does not matter. Like that is a rounding error to him.
Even more about the Fanatics losses on the show is like 6 cents. I don't even 500K at 12 billion is probably nothing. Like literally nothing.
It truly does not matter. So good for him, good for Roth. Just wild all around. And then you had, dude, I like Bo Nix a lot. Bo Nix is gonna be, would not shock me if he's a top 10 QB in the next year or two.
I mean, you could argue he was last year. I mean, he was really good.
Yeah. So, like, when I think about rankings of QBs in my mind, it's Jaden's on a different level only because of the fact of like how far he got in his rookie year. You're allowed to say like he's a top 10 QB, a top 8 QB, whatever you want to rank him as. Everyone else, Bo Nix, Caleb, Drake May, whatever else, is kind of like NA. Like, okay, you play like a top 12, top 15 QB, but like this is too fluid of a situation for it to really matter. And then JJ and Penix, I'd just say is incomplete. Like, Penix played 3 games. That's not even close enough data to say anything. And then, that's JJ, Penix.
You're forgetting someone, Dave.
Who am I forgetting?
Spencer Rattler.
Just bad. Just a guy. He's a jag.
Yeah.
Although he's a saint, but he's a jag.
You're forgetting Jordan Travis too.
Well, he's just another retired guy. Yeah, that's a sad story with Travis. But
shout out Jordan Travis.
It would not shock me, dude, if he ends up playing in some kind of professional league in a couple of years. Like, if he's able to be medically clear and, like, wants to still play, because, like, you're 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and, like, you still have, like, that competitive desire, and you get cleared, you never know. Like, there are other leagues out there, thankfully, like the CFL and the XFL, maybe, as long as the XFL continues to exist, where he could obviously go and play. Like, it was never a talent issue. So,
yeah,
you never know. It sounds better than selling insurance or like fucking real estate.
He honestly might just end up coaching at FSU.
Is he? I mean, I'm sure they would openly welcome him back as a graduate assistant or whatever.
I would assume, some sort of like assistant coaching.
You end up either selling real estate in like that area, or you end up being like
a car dealership.
Yeah, like none of those sound really appealing. But what do I know? What else is happening? CBLS lost 125 grand on the Pacers. Oh yeah, basketball.
I thought he only lost $1,000.
Well, he could have won 100.
He could. He lost out on the potential of 125.
Yeah, he won 30 on the bet of the Pacers making it to the finals, which is sick. But obviously,
talk about a wild outcome of Game 7. That was just crazy how that went.
Yeah, it's obviously a shame that Halmern got hurt. No one likes that. Listen, the Thunder were the big bad guys in all of this, but like they're still a really likable team. So it's kind of like everyone was shitting on the Thunder. I'm like, I'm happy. Like they did it right. They basically drafted all these guys, got the deal of the century in basketball, getting SGA from the Clippers. And, it's not like they got a bunch of hated vets who just like no one wanted to root for. It's like a bunch of like 23-year-olds who theoretically have a very wide open window assuming they pay the right talent and then draft, some 7-year-old accordingly because they have so many draft picks in the future.
Yeah, I think Caruso is like their oldest player.
He's 31.
Yeah. I didn't even realize he was that old, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they made very intelligent moves in hindsight, obviously. Caruso for Josh Giddey, which worked out, frankly, for both teams.
They signed Hartenstein.
Hartenstein.
Yeah. That's pretty much all they've acquired.
I think that's literally it, because everyone else they either drafted or is SGA, because they had Dort was undrafted. SGA was obviously the Clippers trade.
I think they drafted someone else.
Yeah, Jalen was the 12th pick or something.
Cason Wallace, they drafted.
Yeah, Cason Wallace, like a lottery pick or right outside the lottery. I don't remember where he
Chet they drafted.
Chet was 2.
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting?
All their bench pieces they've drafted, for the most part, the other Jalen Williams.
Yeah. It's going to load, let's see. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else that is...
Henrich Williams, I think they drafted as well.
Look at the basketball reference page. It's easier. If it feels like loading.
Got some poverty internet over there today, Dave.
Well, I don't know what's happening. So, Aaron Wiggins.
Drafted him. They drafted all these guys, yeah.
Kason, Dylan Jones, Jalen, Usman Dieng. Yeah,
They drafted Topic, and he hasn't even played.
Oh, yeah. Nikola Topic is going to probably, be a decent depth guy next year.
He was a top pick. He was lottery pick last year?
I think it was 12, yeah. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy what they've managed to do. And, with the Celtics being not a true contender next year with Jason Tatum being out, the Pacers now probably not being a real contender next year with, Halburn being out.
Yeah, the East is cooked.
The East is definitely cooked next year. I can easily see the Cavs and the Knicks being the 1-2 seed, assuming that Mitchell is not traded or Garland or anything like that. It seems like one of them is going to be moved on because the Cavs.
I saw they offered Garland for KD. I don't know the validity of that, but
I doubt that makes no sense for the Cavs to do. It would not shock me if Garland is moved on from not. Because they're bad, but because it clearly does not seem to be the right fit, or Mitchell or whatever.
There's been some weird trades the last day or two. Some very obsolete kind of trades. The one today was just so pointless. It felt like.
Well, so the trade that Kai is referencing as of today's recording was the CJ McCollum for Jordan Poole trade. I get why both teams did it. The Wizards now have $100 million in salary cap for 2026, so they're going to definitely go after the corpse of Kevin Durant or role players or some disgruntled star or whatever, and try to push forward from an 18-win season that got them the 4th pick or whatever, the 5th pick. So, and for New Orleans, you just want to be in hell, and you're going to probably trade Zion or something.
I was going to say, do you think this is finally the offseason Zion goes somewhere else new?
So the issue with Zion, and I'll go back to the Eastern Conference standings thing. The issue with Zion is and I never liked Zion as a player, injuries, everything else.
We know, Dave.
I know. I was right. I ended up being right about that. So at least there's documented hate that, validly proven over time. The issue with Zion is kind of like Joel Embiid in a way, where if he's healthy and he's 100% healthy and you have no worry about him playing 80 games or 70 games even, they are worth X, Y, and Z. The issue is they much like Embiid, obviously, is they've not proven to be healthy. And instead of being worth X, Y, and Z, it's A, B, and C. And if you were able to convince a team to take on Zion, you're also paying him $45 million at the end of the contract, which is not a small amount of money in the second apron era that we're in. And you have to hope and pray that he's healthy and motivated and desired, because if you get him for pennies on the dollar and he's healthy and he reaches his peak and he's an all NBA player, because Zion could still be, a top 5, top 10 NBA player at his absolute peak if he's healthy and everything. That's a move that wins you a championship. Like you can convince me, dude, that like a team like the Pistons or a team like Pistons are a good example, actually. No,
you just couldn't think of a different one.
Well, I was gonna say like not the Hawks, the Hornets or something. But like that's not the point. Like you could convince me a team like Detroit makes that move, and they could be a championship contender next year if everything broke correctly. If Zion played 75 games, was healthy, reached his potential of like an All NBA second team or anything like that, top 5 MVP or whatever. Like that could tell me that's a move that wins you a ring. Or he's fat and slow and plays 23 games, and the Pistons, instead of winning 44 games, win like 14 because everything goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if he's under control for like 45 mil for a few more seasons and he is healthy and plays well, which are a lot of ifs. I mean, it's honestly not a terrible contract for him, but obviously that's, the odds of that happening are definitely worse than the odds of him sucking and being hurt again. So,
well, that's the issue. And when I was thinking about the Zion trade, especially in the East, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. I don't know their situation cap wise. Probably not.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Not after Desmond Bane. Heat makes sense. I don't know enough about the Hawks situation to tell you what they have or do not have. So
Bulls would just be
the Bulls would be the most Bulls move ever for it to not work.
He would look good in a Bulls jersey, though.
It would be the most fitting thing for them to trade for Zion, and he plays 40 games across 3 years.
Do you not think they would trade him to the West, or are you just starting in the East?
I'm just starting in the East because we were talking about the East before. Because I'm also thinking about like the East next year with the Celtics and now
the Sixers could be like you just throw them with Embiid and Paul George in there, and
that is Kevin Durant, Kyrie and James Harden on mega steroids. They play 4 games together, go 4-0, and then they
probably get like one combined game the entire year.
That game would be awesome.
If that worked out though, and you have Jared McCain and Maxey with
then you win a ring, assuming that you don't have to give up either of those players. Like, if we're being the most pessimistic about Zion's value right now, he's a negative asset.
Yeah,
like he is. I don't even think the Sixers could afford that trade. They probably would have to trade PG for Zion, and that would be like, well, either the trade doesn't make sense for either side, obviously, but like PG is more of a negative asset.
He's probably the worst asset in the league.
It would have to be like Paul George and 3 for Zion.
Him or Dame at this point, I would think, are probably the 2 worst.
It would be like Paul George and 3 for Zion.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, because that was the rumor that was going to happen with Durant. Was going to be 3 and PG for Kevin Durant. So I would imagine you'd have to get like a first rounder, 2 first rounders from the Pelicans. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'm fucking Nostradamus and that happens, which would be hilarious, but I don't see it happening. My fear is the Nets try and make a move for him because I think the Nets are going to try and get a star this year.
Pair him up with Ben Simmons.
No, Ben Simmons is gone.
Oh, he's a free agent?
I think he went to the Clippers.
Oh, you're right. They traded him. I forgot.
I hate Ben Simmons with a burning passion. I really do. My fear is the Nets go and take a swing at a star when they're not really ready to compete. But then again, now with the Pacers and the Celtics being worse in 2026, almost certainly, obviously, like, well, I don't know what your timeline's going to be. That's going to be interesting.
I mean, Zion to the Nets, depending on what you give up, obviously, isn't like the worst. Like,
it's not the worst, but we already saw what happened when you gave an injured star or you traded for an injured star.
Ben Simmons. That's not even. I don't think that's even comparable to Zion. He just like his career is like over.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is they still were paying Ben? They traded for Ben Simmons in the James Harden trade, and he played 75, 85 games for the Nets across a couple of years. I might be overestimating how many games he played for the Nets.
I think he actually played a relatively decent amount of games this season.
Wow, he played 51. Holy fucking shit, guys. He played 90 games in 3 years for the Nets. So, and boy, you got 6.5 points, 9 points. How many rebounds?
So
6 rebounds.
he
6.
actually played a lot of games to start his career. Like he didn't really get
Well,
hurt too much.
once the back injuries happened, it was over.
Yeah.
So
Trae Young scared him for life.
Trae Young actually broke Ben Simmons. Like, there's no such thing as basketball yips, or maybe from like a free throw, but like that is the textbook definition of something breaking a player.
Dude, he was getting MVP votes. Look at that. He was the 12th in MVP.
If Ben Simmons' career happened now in the sports car world that we know it as, because this obviously correlates a good amount, but if this happened today, Ben Simmons was in the NBA draft now, and his career played the exact same way. He's out for a year. His hype builds. He starts being a pretty quality player. Wins Rookie of the Year. Now he's an All-Star. Oh my God! Now he's Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Everything else, and then he falls off a cliff. People would literally throw himself off a cliff for how much money they would lose.
I mean, people probably lost a pretty good amount even then. That was only a couple of years. That was during COVID. Like that was.
Yeah, no. This correlation right here is amazing, but we can go back to Card Ladder and laugh at the absurdity of Ben Simmons prices. They got over 6 figures in some instances. Oh, I guess they didn't. All right, never mind. What happened to $150,000 gold Ben Simmons, baby?
Well, the issue is he doesn't really. I mean, what does he have? Prism and then like non-jersey autographs from Flawless.
Was it?
There aren't many options. He has the unlicensed autos, obviously.
Yeah. So I'm gonna disagree now with this data in mind. Ben Simmons would easily have 6-figure cards, and they would go down to.
Yeah, I mean his Prism Black would have done 100,000 in today's world of like those auctions going insane.
And now you can buy a patch auto for $25.
That's fucking hilarious.
Dude, he wouldn't sign shit forever, and I guess he realized, well, I gotta cash in now.
Probably best for everyone's well-being in the card hobby that he didn't sign anything.
Well, this is also, look at this card. Ben Simmons, Shohei Ohtani. This could have been a new. Let me talk about this. This could have been one of the best cards, modern cards printed, if Ben Simmons had ended up like people thought he was going to.
I see you held back from saying nuclear.
No, I said nuke the first time. We'll do it again. We'll drop it a second time.
Hey,
maybe a third.
Dropping a second time is crazy.
That's a wild thing to say. Anyway, Ben Simmons was supposed to be LeBron James 2.0. In a world where that happens, this is one of the craziest fucking cards ever. Knowing what we do now.
I have to say, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm glad we didn't have the podcast when Ohtani was rookie and stuff, but I was such an Ohtani like doubter. Like I'm so glad it's not like publicly available anywhere. Like me saying anything like that.
I'll be honest. I don't really know what I thought about Ohtani when he was gonna debut and everything. I think I was just like, oh damn it, I wish we got him.
I was just like everyone was hyping up so much, and I just didn't really care for him. I mean, I don't think I grasped at that time how crazy it was that he was hitting and pitching at such a high level. But I mean, obviously,
you could have also bought Ohtani stuff relatively cheap for a couple of years into his career.
I think Acuna was more than him. Acuna and Soto were both more than him for a little bit, I think.
Well, what happened was going into the post-COVID era, so 2021, Ohtani also was not pitching because remember his rookie year he pitched and hit and he did very well, and then he got hurt, and then he pitched like one game from like 2019 to 2020, and I'll check in a second. And then like obviously, then everything happened. So for a couple of years there, he was reasonably affordable because pitching 2018 he pitched. 2020, he pitched 2 games and was obviously bad for 2 games, doesn't matter. And then everything turned over again. So it's not a crazy thing to say that like Ohtani could have just been another hitter. Obviously, that was not how it turned out. He's obviously not just another hitter. But the pitching side, and I still will stand by this, he's one more arm injury away from, at best case, being a closer. And that's fine.
I mean, they're kind of treating him as sort of like an opener now. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that or not. But
they're going to stretch him out. Like, it would not shock me if Ohtani, I think his 2 games he's pitched so far is like 21 and like 20 pitches. So maybe next time it's like 35 or 40. Like,
yeah,
I would not look into this too deeply just yet. But if he does have another serious arm injury and he wants to keep pitching, I think you should make him a closer.
I mean, you also can look at it like if he pitches and he's back to 3 ERA, like do his prices even get more nuclear?
Yes. It in a world where Shohei actually plays out his entire MLB career from this point forward as a DH and pitcher, and he does moderately well. I'm not even saying that like he goes 50-50 and pitches a 2.5 ERA. If Ohtani can basically replicate his rookie year hitting wise, and he is a 4 WAR hitters rookie year. Okay, 2 ALs, a little low. If he has a
he didn't play the whole season though.
What?
He only played 100 games, so you can't.
Okay, so about 4 WAR then. Actually, my math is not terrible. And he goes 270, 350 on base, and like a 135, 140 OPS plus, which is below his averages for his career at this point in time. And he gives you 125, 3.5, ERA, once again, conservative numbers. That might be the best career in modern baseball history.
I mean, it'd be him and Barry Bonds. Like
that is in the past 50 to 75 years.
And then you factor in if he has a 9 WAR hitting season again, and like it gives you 20 starts.
Yeah, I just gave you extremely conservative numbers.
He would put up like 14 WAR.
Yeah, I mean, last year he had
9.
9.2 as a hitter. He didn't pitch last year, obviously, but like this year he's at a 3.6 hitting wise. And what's his pitching? 0. So
probably, yeah.
Yeah. But pitching wise, his peak is a 6.2, and his hitting wise is a 9.2, 15 WAR. And it wouldn't shock me if there is a better hitting season out there at some point in time. I'm not saying 50-50 wise, but I'm saying like WAR wise.
I mean, very unrealistic, but if he did 15 WAR for 5 seasons, ending out his prime right now, I mean, that's a Hall of Fame career by itself.
If Shohei doesn't get hurt and ages the way I think he's going to, I mean, he might be another 100% Hall of Fame, like unanimous vote getter.
I mean, I wouldn't be crazy to say he's already like almost there.
In order to make the Hall of Fame, you have to have 10 years of service time.
He's gonna get there though.
If he Malaysia Airlines vanished, no, he wouldn't. But that would be
2 more years.
Yeah, that would be the craziest thing ever. Shohei was just like, I'm good, I'm done.
Yeah,
that would break the amount of salt that would be in our industry if Shohei just retired, even in sports in general, would be interesting. I would be okay with seeing an April Fool's Day prank like that for a day or two.
That'd be nutty.
It would be something. He's just like, hey, listen, thank you for the opportunity. I've decided to retire. It's like March 29th. March 30th, he doesn't play. March 31st, he doesn't play. April 1st, doesn't play. Comes back April 2nd. It'd be quite funny.
Wouldn't be funny for people holding the bag.
It would be funnier.
The weirdest thing is though, like, if he did retire it, a couple of years out of nowhere, I don't really think his prices go down much.
No. If anything, dude, it would like solidify them. At least on like the ultra high end shit. Like I know Joey had the 5-star like logo patch on it.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff would just accumulate value in general. I think his Bowman would go down, but like that like cooler type thing, like Dynasty and 5-star logo patch and stuff like that would like stay.
Well, his stuff really didn't, like we were talking about, didn't really go crazy until 40-70 or whatever it was.
50-50.
50-50, yeah. Like, I mean, that's when his shit went nuclear last year.
I mean,
like doubled overnight almost.
I mean, even looking at his stats now, it's actually kind of crazy because, like, hitting wise, he might go for another 50 home runs this year. He's obviously stealing less, which is fine, but he proved he could do it. We might have another like 50, another couple 50 home run seasons.
Oh, he should. I mean, I don't want to say easily, but he should get 50 home runs this year.
How many games have the Dodgers play right now?
They're not even halfway through the season.
They are 79. So they're basically halfway. So, yeah, I mean, anything can happen there, but like that's kind of crazy, actually. I know the Yankees have been sputtering, but how many home runs does Judge have right now? I think he's got like 28.
You're not even talking about the best one.
I know Cal Raleigh is crazy.
FSU alumni.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Him and Buster Posey.
Yeah, Judge is at 28, and Judge is batting 400 there for a while. He's obviously he's been sputtering.
How dare he hits 360?
I know the Yankees have been really bad the last like 2 weeks. So.
Can we talk about Ronald?
Ronald is actually kind of terrifying. He might go for 30-30 in like 120 games. I'm
gonna throw my bold prediction out here. If he gets the Braves in the playoffs, he's the MVP.
It's only 22 games. It's so
he's gonna play 100-ish.
It's so tough to say because, like, no, he can't, dude.
If he puts up an 8-WAR season in 100 games,
it's just not enough time.
He's winning MVP. It's a bold prediction. It's probably not going to happen, but I don't think it would be crazy if he put up 8 WAR that he should win MVP.
It's different. It's not enough time. If it was 130 games, I would agree with you. 100 games is too small. Now, like, you could have people vote for him and probably finish like top 5 in that instance. To win it is absolutely wild.
I think it would get interesting. I don't think it's like,
once again, he's 50-1 odds. Shohei, easily the betting favorite. Pete Crow is kind of crazy, but I get it. Corbin Carroll's been awesome, but like they're not going enough games.
He just got hurt too. He's out.
Did he just get hurt? Okay. Tatis and Freeman and Soto, like, yeah, whatever, makes sense. Kyle Tucker, whatever, yeah. Like,
I mean, my thing though is if Ronald continues to play, he's the best player right now. I would say, just only being 20 games, but you know, if he hypothetically stays playing at that level for 80 more games, he's gonna pass all of them. All of them have been kind of struggling outside of the top 3 or 4.
It's just not gonna be enough time. If Acuna came back May 1st and like different conversation, he puts up a 7.5, 8.5 WAR season, hits 50 home run, hits 45, 50 home runs in 130 games, whatever else. Sure, it's not gonna be enough time. It's just not gonna be.
Well, he's on pace to put up almost 9 WAR if he plays out the rest of the season.
I know, but like once again,
just saying, not realistic. It's my bold prediction.
It's not.
But I could see a world where voters get enamored by the fact that he got the Braves to the playoffs and put up 9 WAR in like half the season.
Judge being minus 2,000 is kind of crazy.
He's minus 2,000. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, minus 2,000.
That is disgusting.
Like, I'm a Yankee fan. I hope Judge wins MVP. He's obviously the clear favorite right now, but like minus 2,000 is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Kyle Raleigh's been incredible, and I didn't realize
weird that he's not closer than.
Dude, I didn't realize since he came up, like he has been one of the best like power hitters, especially from the catch position that like we've had in modern baseball.
Yeah, no, he's been very solid. He doesn't really get talked about just because he's on the Mariners.
Well, he's on the Mariners, and like, he was batting 220 and 230 for a couple of years there.
Yeah,
and was above average league hitter as a catcher, but like his prime is beginning now, and he's gonna be a threat for an MVP or two.
Yeah, I mean, he's already almost passed his career high in homers.
If a catcher hits 60 home runs, and I'm a Yankee fan, I still consider voting for Cal Raleigh. I
mean, if he hits 60 home runs with these numbers, and I guess it depends what Judge does. I mean, I don't know if the Mariners are in the playoff race or not. So
let's find out. Yeah,
they're fine.
Yeah, they're 500.
Might make a wild card.
Yeah,
but There is actually something crazier on the other page with the MVP odds. Can we appreciate Spencer Torkelson coming back from the dead and being a top 10 MVP candidate?
Yeah, I thought the Tigers are going to trade him. The Tigers being as good as they have been is not what I really expected at all. Also, okay, come on.
Okay, Mr. Batting Average. Let's see his OPS.
His OPS is 124.
It's 25% above league average. It's pretty
Okay, he came back from the dead, but it's not like he went from being, in my opinion, done in Detroit to being not done, but clearly not why they're winning a ton of games. An OPS of 600, an OPS of 800 as a hitting first baseman is fine.
Okay, Mr. Hater.
It's not a hater. He's literally, where is he on this page for top 10 in WAR? He is 10th. He's 10th. He's fine.
I'm just saying I'm happy for the guy.
I'm not saying I'm not happy for the guy. I'm saying that, like, he's, you know who you should be happy for? Javier fucking Baez.
No, wait, he's playing center field. Did I read that right?
Yeah, he's playing. First off, he's been playing incredible. Secondly, he's playing shortstop again.
Oh.
Javier Baez. If you're talking about someone who came back from the dead, it's Javier Baez.
He was probably the worst contract in MLB last year.
Yeah. And, like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of issues with Baez's game. The fact he doesn't walk. He's striking out less, but, like, still striking out a lot. Very crazy free swinger. But this is his best offensive year, basically, since going to Detroit. And that's not even... The bar was league average, and he's been better than league average. So, you know, yeah, he was like, he's played a good amount of center field this year, and he's been incredible at it too, which is funny. And third now. Okay, go figure. Didn't know that. Gotta watch Detroit baseball. Sorry, Tyler.
Anything else on your mind?
We talked Fanatics. We talked National a bunch more. We went into baseball and everything. Nothing to talk about football-wise right now. We'll talk the draft next week if I'm on the podcast. If the Mavericks do not take Cooper Flag in some way, shape, or form...
They're taking Cooper Flag.
If the Mavericks do not take Cooper Flag in some way, shape, or form, Dallas will burn. Unless they trade for Giannis with that pick, Dallas will burn. So hopefully, if they do something stupid, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will. So
they will. But if they don't, I'll be there for it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, listening. Next week, I will maybe be here. I'll figure it out. Bye.